Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Here's your news for June 12, 2019. Vince McMahon's secret backstage fight/altercation with WWE officials and writers leaked. It was bad news for WWE during this week's Raw, as the company's flagship show faces one of its lowest viewerships in the show's 26-year history. According to the Wrestling Observer, this week's show was a record low for a non-holiday edition of Raw, and the numbers don't lie. This week's episode drew an average of 2.13 million views, down significantly from last week's 2.41 million, and the hourly breakdown shows that audiences switched off throughout the entire show. For Hour 1, 2.38 million homes were tuned in, while this number dropped to 2.09 million during Hour 2 before settling in at 1.91 million during Hour 3. To be fair to WWE, they did face stiff competition this week, as the NBA Finals match between the Toronto Raptors and Golden State Warriors took place during the final 2 hours of the show. A hotly contested match that saw the Warriors win by just 1 point. The game attracted over 18 million viewers, many of whom were presumably coming from watching Raw. The NBA season ends this Sunday, so hopefully this dip in viewers will be a one-off, though with Baron Corbin once again being pushed in the main event against Universal Champion Seth Rollins, there may not be much relief next week. According to reports, Vince McMahon is furious with the state of WWE at the moment, as the company continues its slump while facing the growing threat of AEW. Reportedly, Vince McMahon had a huge altercation with his writers and producers for WWE's poor performance. Hopefully, things will turn around for the sports entertainment juggernaut as we quickly approach the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. Speaking of bad news for WWE, former United States champion Rey Mysterio continues to be off screens and has recently spoken about his botched finish during his title match against Samoa Joe at Money in the Bank and his injury. At the pay-per-view, Mysterio captured the title from Joe, despite the Samoan's shoulders being off the mat, and suffered a separated shoulder after the bout, which forced him to relinquish the gold. Mysterio said, "When you're in full action and full adrenaline, you have no idea of the referee's count or if he's even aware that the opponent is grabbing the ropes while he's doing the pin. 9 out of 10 times the ref is right on spot, but this wasn't the occasion." When the Ultimate Underdog was asked about when we could expect him back in the ring, Mysterio was optimistic, saying, "Due to the unfortunate aftermath after winning the title, I suffered a separated left shoulder. That has put me on the bench, so I've been doing some PRP and slight rotation movements. I'm trying to see if I could get back in possibly late June or July." This certainly would be an incredible turnaround for Mysterio, who has been plagued with injuries throughout his career. Since returning to the company full-time during SmackDown's 1000th episode, the Master of the 619 has been on fire, having highly entertaining feuds against the likes of Samoa Joe and Andrade. It's clear the company still has plenty of faith in Rey, so the sooner we see him back, the better, just as long as he's healthy. Mysterio may be gearing up for a return to the ring, but one superstar who certainly isn't is Rey's former tag team partner Batista. After retiring from the ring following his WrestleMania 35 loss to Triple H, the Animal has said that he is happy with how the match went, but also revealed in an interview that the two didn't train together. According to the Marvel movie star, it was the game's decision to not work much together before the show, as the King of Kings was worried about suffering an injury like his pectoral tear at last year's Crown Jewel while training for the high-profile match. Batista said, "We were scheduled to train, and we did go to the training facility, but we didn't train. Because Triple H said, I can get in the ring and I can work out and I can feel a little more confident. He said, or I can get in the ring and I can re-tear my pec. He said, let's be safe about this. We've been in the ring enough, we know each other." Though he may have come out on the losing end of the match, Batista seems happy with how the bout went, as after years of hurdles and movie schedules blocking the match, the Animal got to step into the ring with his friend one last time. Speaking of superstars who have turned to acting, John Cena has been in the news this week, as the former WWE champion turned Bumblebee star continues to be a huge name despite not competing since his January 14th Raw defeat at the hands of Finn Balor. Speaking to TMZ about the controversial Goldberg vs. Undertaker match from Super Showdown, Cena said it was up to the two former world champions whether they feel they should retire, and that no one can make that decision for them. When asked about the possibility of his own retirement, the 16-time world champion didn't explicitly say he was looking at retirement, but did slip that it was something he had considered. At 42 years old, Cena has had a career that most superstars could only dream of, and after so many high-profile matches against the likes of The Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles, the Doctor of Thuganomics has certainly earned some time away from the ring. In the same interview with TMZ, Cena also spoke about other projects he is working on, and said he was extremely grateful to be joining the Fast and Furious franchise, as he will star in the movie's next installment out in May 2020. As one career seemingly comes to an end, another is facing a major shift, as Chad Gable appears to be the newest member of the Cruiserweight division. Appearing on this week's 205 Live, Gable faced Jack Gallagher in the show's opener. Gable earned a count-out victory over the English superstar, German suplexing Gallagher on the floor outside the ring, with the gentleman unable to make it back in for the count of 10. Earlier this week, 205 Live general manager Drake Maverick had been promising a special surprise to the Purple brand, and that seems to be Gable. The former Olympian was recently moved from Raw to SmackDown Live in the latest Superstar shakeup, though had only a few appearances on the Blue brand before his Cruiserweight move. Spotted making notes in a backstage segment during this week's SmackDown, the move to 205 Live could be the right call for Gable, as the superstar who has the distinction of being just one of two men to hold the NXT, Raw, and SmackDown tag team titles may have his eyes set on singles gold very soon. WWE Super Showdown continues to be in the news following the shocking main event between Goldberg and The Undertaker. And though most fans have berated the sloppy encounter, the huge bout has received some support. In a tweet, Chris Jericho praised both men for their work, comparing them to aging rockers who can still perform, saying, "Both Undertaker and Goldberg are once-in-a-lifetime, top-level performers and money draws. And even though they may not be at their peak and had an outing that wasn't perfect, they are still better than most. I think Mick Jagger and Ozzy Osbourne would agree. #respect." This is certainly a change of pace for Jericho, who only recently mocked the company for making Brock Lesnar Mr. Money in the Bank, and he isn't the only WWE legend to defend the Jeddah match. Ric Flair spoke on SiriusXM's Busted Open, and the 16-time world champion gave some huge compliments for the Demon of Death Valley. "They opened up hot, I loved it, and I loved the match up until the last minute and a half. And here's the deal. Whatever you want to say about anybody in this business, he is going to be on Mount Rushmore if there is one. You can say no wrong about The Undertaker." Though the two-time Hall of Famer was quick to praise his former opponent, the Nature Boy did give Goldberg a backhanded compliment, saying, "Bill Goldberg had arguably the greatest run of anybody for years, and has still never had anybody spend more than a half hour with him learning the fundamentals of the business." It may not have been a ringing endorsement, but Flair was certainly kinder than Matt Riddle, who didn't hold back recently when he described the former Universal Champion as one of the worst wrestlers ever. And finally today, we're looking at Enzo Amore, as the former WWE superstar was his usual vocal self when he appeared on the Keeping It 100 with Conan podcast. During the show, the Certified G spoke about his singles run in 2017 and specifically mentioned a scathing promo he received during the September 11th edition of Raw. That night, The Miz cut a promo on Enzo, referencing the very real backstage heat the former Cruiserweight champion had, including once being kicked off of the WWE's tour bus by the usually mellow Roman Reigns. According to Enzo, though, he wasn't given the chance to fire back, telling Conan, "They put me in the ring with The Miz, who aired me out on all the dirt sheet articles that had been coming out about me, and they just had The Miz bury me, and I was told I couldn't say a word back or I'd be fired, so if I said something, I would have gotten fired." Though this is a huge claim by Enzo, we know to take everything he says with a pinch of salt, as the former superstar did once claim he was completely finished with wrestling, only to make appearances in the crowd at both last year's Survivor Series and this one's G1 Supercard in April. Whatever the truth may be, Expect the former Cruiserweight champion to be his very confident self for years to come. And that's your news for today. Let us know your opinions on all the goings-on in the world of wrestling down in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.